Welcome back to the Daily Thunder podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Woods. I'm here with Spenser and Brandon. Tonight was game one of Salt Lake City Summer League, and we're going to get a little reaction to it. Boys, let's start with you, Spenser. Just your first takeaway, your big takeaway of the night.
Man, Chet looks great defensively, at least. That was, that's the thing all weekend. I've been looking forward to watching this game and just seeing how Chet looked. The first quarter was rough. I would say on both ends was pretty rough. But after that, he kind of settled in, got his legs back a little bit. I'm assuming he has not played much 5-on-5 in the lead up to this. But that would be interesting. I would be interested to learn if he had gotten any prep or had opportunities to kind of play himself into shape and with 5-on-5 runs or not. But overall thought it was good. Trey Man looked great. J-Dub, of course, he looked like a top 50 player who just plays summer league for fun should look. Those were the main takeaways.
Brandon, the non-Micic division, what was your main takeaway of the night? I know he was sitting courtside.
It's hard not to just open up talking about Chet's return. 4 blocks, and I think he had at least one or two more that weren't. I know for sure he had at least one more that wasn't credited. He looked a little hesitant that opening quarter, but man, that second quarter he dominated, had 10 points. His handle looked really, really tight. Looked a little gassed at different points, but he looks ready. This had to be a huge, kind of sigh of relief, I think, for Thunder fans watching Chet tonight. There's a lot to talk about. Obviously, Micic being at the game, but a very good return, I'd say, for Chet. Even if it wasn't perfect, it's funny. It felt like he didn't have that great a game, and he still ended up with 15, 9, and 4.
The last block of the night was quite the exclamation point. Like, he came from what looked like close to the weak side 3-point line. Like, he came a good ways across the basket. He was apparent last summer league, but just his awareness and how he's able to time up, when to help, and so impressed. So I echo all of that about Chet. He definitely did look like gas pretty quickly. I think that was to be expected, but hopefully he plays enough games between here and in Las Vegas where we get to see him look a bit more in game shape than tonight. But I was pumped. I'll be honest, until probably the second dead ball timeout, I felt like I didn't breathe. I felt like I didn't exhale. Just kind of nervous pregame, had some jitters. And then very nervous just for him, in the same way when Durant would come back from a foot thing, you just want to see him get through a game and not have anything that gets you worried. And tonight was one of those that, even though he looked like he just wasn't totally in game shape and have his legs, he looks aggressive and moves well and is fast and doing all the things you'd want him to do. What did you see Spenser offensively that probably want to see more of, or some things that a little bit different?
I liked that he was like you mentioned, that the aggression and just the toughness. You're going to get that from Chet even if he's a little bit tired. I think his pickup is, Brandon mentioned his handle looked good, and I think it did, but I think his pickup is a little slow right now. And I think that's why you saw him have some turnovers. He had a pretty bad one. And then I think he got his shot blocked a couple times on jumpers as well. That's going to get better. He's going to get quicker at that. And that's just something he'll have to adjust to as he, keeps playing himself into shape. I was a little bit, it didn't seem like he wanted to shoot the 3 ball tonight. He only took one. He had bunch of opportunities. I don't know, 5 or 6 at least. And then he was 3 of 6 from the line. And the 1 3 that he did take was kind of a line drive. It was right after that block that he had that you mentioned. And it kind of felt like a moment where, okay, this could be, I mean, the game was over at that point, but it felt like a potential highlight and something, it would have been cool if he'd made that. And he kind of just skimmed it. I mean, it was just a line drive 3. So I wonder if he's working through some stuff with the shot right now. But in general, not too worried about what he looks like in ISO situations on offense, because I don't think he's going to have to do that very often for the Thunder to be successful, at least this upcoming year. So that's definitely something he has time to work on.
Brandon, what about that Trey Man dunk?
In all seriousness, I mean, if that was regular season, that's a top dunk of the year candidate. I'm trying to remember the dunks from last season, and there were some really good dunks, but I think it's right up there with every single dunk of the year candidate from last season. It's one of those, it was Summer League. It's not going in any official stat, but it was so good that I think it's one that will make its way on highlight reels, even though it's Summer League. It was too good. It's too good. It's going to be Sports Center #1, and it's going on Trey's permanent, NBA highlight reel, regardless of it being Summer League. That was nasty.
And just from a broader sense, I thought Trey Man played a really nice game, and he's got the stakes seem pretty high this summer for Trey Man, and that was, I thought, about as good of a way as he could have kicked it off.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, he was bad last Summer League, if you guys remember.
Yeah. We were definitely left a little cold last summer.
Yeah, his shooting, he was 4 of 8 from 3, had 20 points. He had 7 rebounds, 3 steals. And it's Summer League. And it was against the Grizzlies, second and third team. But he ended the regular season with a triple-double and looked really good. So he's got a little bit of momentum going here now. Look, the Thunder have a ton of guards. We could go through them all, but it'll take too long. And I think that every Thunder fan knows that Trey's, position on this team may be, in jeopardy. But if he keeps playing like this, Thunder are going to have some hard decisions. They got some hard decisions anyways, because there's 19 players on this team right now. And every single one of those kind of has some sort of value. Like even Oladipo, even though he may not even play the season, has some value as an expiring contract. Bertans has some value as, a bigger contract you can trade. Patty Mills, does he play? Does he make the team as a locker room guy and, cheap vet that can shoot? There's so many different ways this roster could go. There's probably, 5 guys vying for 1 or 2 spots. But if Trey keeps this up, he's going to find some value either with the Thunder or, in a trade possibility, whatever it may be. But he needs to keep this up. And if he does, that's good news for Trey.
And it's good news for the Thunder either way. Whatever they decide to do, it's best that he's playing well. He needs to, put some stuff out there for not just the Thunder to look at, but for other teams as well. If he's playing well, then that's a big win for the Thunder, whether they keep him or not.
Washington makes so much sense for him, right?
There's minutes
there. There's Thunder front office executives there. That to me is one that I've got circled where, if you decide you want to keep Victor Oladipo's expiring contract, I think it's $9 million, and or Patty Mills's contract, which is a little bit less, but keep those as assets to the trade deadline because there's not going to be any minutes for Trey Man anyway. If they're able to get 2 seconds for him from Washington, I think that would be something that would be pretty attractive.
What about Utah? Speaking of the team they played tonight.
Yeah. I mean, fewer minutes there, right? They just drafted Keontae George. I guess Jordan Clarkson's there. It does sound like maybe Colin Sexton might be available, so maybe they will have some minutes. But yeah, Trey would make sense there.
Yeah, fun to watch Trey play well tonight.
He was probably the second best player, at least offensively, for the Thunder tonight, behind J-Dub.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
If you look at the box score, it's not even close. But
yeah, they brought him back late when Utah started making a run. What, Brandon? What did you think of the overrated chants at the end? Is that something you think Chet's going to hear more of, or is that just summer league fans being summer? It was kind of a road game.
Yeah, it was basically a road. I mean, it's in Utah. Obviously, you can tell from the crowd it was a pro Jazz crowd.
You can certainly tell from the broadcast.
Yeah, Chet you can see the opposing players like want to try to dunk on Chet because they know that it'll put him, on Sports Center, and I think opposing fans kind of have it out for Chet. There's just something about him. And I think it's the hype that he had. Everybody knows that he's, one of the best players at Summer League. Like within Summer League, Wemby, Chet, Scoot, J-Dub, those are kind of the guys. And he kind of comes with us hype. I think, he's going to get some of that. But he doesn't care. Like, he's just got that attitude, like, just puts the chip on his shoulder more. Like, that is not going to affect him or bother him. If anything, it's just going to make him play that much harder. He's just that kind of dude.
It seemed like they thought he played at Duke or something. I don't know. It seems corny to me. Like, this dude's playing his first game, coming back from a year off, and I don't know. Does Chet deserve that? I guess it doesn't. It literally doesn't matter. But it seemed, it's like I'd expect that treatment for like a Grayson Allen type, and not. I don't know what Chet did to piss off those fans, but. Do you think
Wemby's going to get any of that in Vegas? Like people just wanting to like zag?
I think he's going to get treated like he's the second coming.
Like Gen Z Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
No, I think a regular season game, he might get to that. Like, a la like Trae Young against the Knicks or something. But, when he goes into a big market like that with a team that, the Spurs are going to lose a lot of games, so I'm sure he'll catch some heat.
Brandon, I think the other thing I wanted to hit on was J-Dub's defense, especially on Agbaji. Like that seemed to be like a matchup early on that was fun to watch both of them kind of follow each other around. But Jalen looked so engaged and aggressive defensively and very confident. Even when he didn't come up with steals, like he was like that was the goal. He was very aggressive with trying to like use his wingspan to get tips.
Yeah, he was just kind of overwhelming him. Like Jada, let's be honest, just looked like he didn't belong in Summer League. I mean, he was just so much better than everybody else out there. Like he was a plus 19 in only 22 minutes. 21 points in only 22 minutes. Offensively, defensively, he just looked better than everybody out there.
I got a text during the game.
Minus 19. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was noting that Agbaji was a minus 19 in 30 minutes. 17 points and 19 shots.
Yeah, so there you
go. I got a text during the game. Jalen looks like a senior playing JV.
That's kind of how Josh looked last year. It wasn't quite as loud because of, Jalen hit threes tonight and was just so good defensively. But Giddey didn't look like he belonged last year at this level either.
And if you want to nerd out, go back and look. Score was 2-2, and Jalen catches a pass like top of the key 3-point line. Go look how fast that ball comes out of his hand. His shot looked so fast on catch and shoot. I think it's something that was hoping he would work on because I think there are going to be a lot more catch and shoot opportunities for him going forward. And I think it's something that's going to get a lot better. And tonight, like even if it was just one, it was in his hand, and immediately like the pass began his shooting motion, and just loved his entire first half. It was really, really strong. Anybody else you guys want to highlight?
We have to talk about. Well, go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, I was just going to say Jalen Williams, J-Will, despite the disrespect from the broadcast, ended up with 3 drawn charges in a summer league game, which is just hilarious. Like, he led the NCAA in charges drawn. He led the NBA in his rookie year in charges drawn. Like, he's going to lead your YMCA in charges drawn. Like, the dude just does it. Like, 3 in summer league is just hilarious. So well done, J-Will. 13 rebounds too, by the way.
The post from Shea. Have you guys seen this yet?
No.
The cheddar.
Yeah. We've got a cheddar caption on a screenshot of Chet in the post game. Also, J-Dub with a his Instagram story, thumbs up over Chet during his press conference, just says hooray. Just we're back to 2010 vibes with this team again. It's very fun. Summer League is fun. I'm glad it's back.
Yes,
absolutely. It was interesting seeing Chet alongside a center tonight, right?
Yeah,
I don't know that we'll see that in the regular, like, at least starting games very often next year. I mean, you have to start J-Will over Lou. But, maybe if like Lou's hurt or banged up or something and they need a 5th starter, maybe Jalen comes in. Be interesting.
Yeah.
Chet still took a beating tonight, even though they played him next to a center though. So, if you're trying to mitigate that, I don't know how effective that's going to be.
Yeah, I still very much expect the starting unit to be SGA, Dort, Giddey, J-Dub, Chet. But it was an interesting wrinkle. I honestly think that Chet played much better as the 5 than the 4. It just seemed to me like, look, he's going to be a great defender and a great offensive player no matter where you play him. But I still think that his natural position is the 5, and this was a very small sample size. It's summer league and all those things, but it just feels like it should be the 5 to me.
Yeah, I'm fully in on Chet as the long-term 5, but just as a different look, kind of spare, at least in the regular season too. We need this guy to be healthy in April and May. And I mean, he's so tough, man. He leans into everything. He stands in there and he just takes it. And I just wonder if how well he'll hold up over the course of the full season, at least in this upcoming year. Long term, I'm not really worried about it.
I'm less worried about the big bodies he's going up against. I'm more worried about the slippery floors he's playing on. He slipped a couple of times again tonight.
He did.
He falls a lot. Yeah, looks like a gazelle out there sometimes, or a baby deer.
Spenser, do you have any thoughts on Ousmane Dieng? I thought we saw like a lot of stuff that looked like last year, and I was encouraged by a couple stronger takes to the rim, but other than that, it looked like our guy Oos.
It looks like kind of looked like Trey Mann last year, right? Where the movements looked pretty good, the physicality looked better, and the shots just didn't go in.
Yeah.
So it's one game. I don't know. I'm not super worried about his progress, but I am. I don't know. Maybe light to medium worried. We'll see how he finishes out summer league, and he'll have. I assume he'll play in just about every game in Utah and Vegas. And as we've seen this over the last couple of years, the deeper you get into Vegas, the more like rotation players start to kind of drop out. And so hopefully he'll get more responsibility and, can answer the call, so to speak. But yeah, 1 for 11. He did have 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Is not great, but he was playing the 3. Had a steal and a block too. I thought defensively he was fine. I was mostly watching Chet, but I mean, he looks good. Just the shot just didn't go in tonight.
I agree. I would say scale of 1 to 10. Like if we're talking about Trey Mann, I'm at like a 9. Like it's time. I still feel like I'm at like a 0 with Jang. Like it just.
Really?
I just think they are. I think the runway is very long for a guy that big that has shown, at least to this point, the skills that he has. Like I just don't think this is the kind of player they're going to like call it on early. And not to say that it would even be in year 2, obviously, but even like next year, I just don't think. And I know like that at some point this team, like there are going to be guys that are brought onto this team that are going to make it tough for him. But if he were to pop in year 5, like I don't think it's necessary, I guess, for him in these first couple years for this team to be good. They can wait on him is my point. And I think it's going to happen for him. He's just so young and so skilled, and that frame, like it's just hard to find like skills on a guy like that, guard skills on a guy that's 6'10". So yeah, I do think I'm not really worried at all. Obviously I'd love to see the stuff we're all waiting on, sooner than later.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not necessarily worried. What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm not worried about Jang. He's so young. Everybody knew he was a raw project when the Thunder took him, and they're absolutely still invested in Jang. The thing about Jang, you can see it on the floor. I mean, the dude is a legitimate 6'10", and he moves so fluidly. Like, you just do not see that very often. And he does have the skill. Like, obviously, his shot didn't fall tonight. He was only 1 from 5 from 3. The thing that I go back to with Jang is that he shot 35% from 3 in his G League stint this year. That was on 7 attempts per game. Like, I believe in the shot with Jang. I really do. He had a rough night tonight offensively. I agree with Spenser. I thought he looked pretty solid defensively. We always go back to it with Jang. A lot of it is his confidence, his aggression, and then whether or not his shot falls. He's the guy. He's kind of the X factor for this Thunder team in that he's still got such a high upside and high ceiling. You know what you're getting in SGA, J-Dub, Giddey, and Chet. I feel like it seems reasonable to feel like those guys are the core 4 guys, and from All NBA, SGA to like the possible ceilings and floors of those other guys. What Lou Dort brings, Isaiah Joe brings, Kenrich Williams brings. Jang is the one guy. I'd even say you Casey Wallace, even though he hasn't played 1 minute of NBA ball.
Look at you. Look at you throwing your guy in there already. I like it.
He's my dude.
He's
my dude.
Throw Mitchell.
What about Mitchell? Do we know what we're getting from Mitchell yet?
What about him?
So do we know what we're getting from him yet? From Mitchell?
Oh, absolutely. Spenser, I will send you links. Yeah, we know what we're getting from Micic and from Wallace. I think those are NBA ready players. But Jang, like, his outcome is so, he really could hit, and it could take, the Thunder core to an even higher level. And if he doesn't hit, he's still got a lot of tools. I think he can find a role in a rotation, absolutely. But you don't have to play him a lot this season. He can absolutely get 20 minutes a night this season, or he can play sparingly. The Thunder have so many guys, and they can be so patient with Jang. It's a really nice spot to be in with him.
I agree.
I guess
I think the defense is like the thing that's going to sustain him until things kick in offensively or the shot starts to fall more consistently. I think we've all been pretty impressed with his willingness to defend and his ability to rotate and keep up with smaller guys that are driving. Like, I think those are all positives for him. Even as a rookie, those were very impressive to me.
I'm interested to see what he looks like in the regular season. agree that defense is going to carry him, and I agree that I do think his shot from three is going to come along. I believe in that at least to a certain extent. I mean, I don't think he's going to shoot like 40% or anything, but I mean, he was also 0 of 6 from 2-point range tonight. So it's not just about the three ball. Ryan, you said something about year 5, and I agree. Like he could easily have a great NBA career and break out year 4, year 5. But if it takes that long, is he really still on the Thunder by that point? I would guess not. And that's going to happen. And frankly, I think that's what's going to happen with Trey Mann. I think he's probably going to get traded or cut either this summer or next summer. And he's probably going to have a great year, and end up having a decent NBA career. That's just what happens when you bring in as many guys as what the Thunder have. And on top of it, you hit on these free agent guys like Isaiah Joe, takes up another roster spot and minutes in the rotation. But the Thunder should be as patient as possible with Ousmane Dieng because the upside is super high. The upside is him being the starting 4 on a legit contender in the next 2, 3, 4 years. So I think they'll stick with that for as long as that seems feasible. And
even if he tipped out at a 3-and-D player, because he's 6'10", if he can guard down at all, it just seems like he's going to have a spot and would be really valuable, especially to a team like this.
Yeah, I mean, the passing is there. He's pretty good at I think moving the ball in transition. He's not a good finisher in transition, which was another issue tonight, at least once that I can remember. He's not a guy that has a ton of vertical pop. And so that probably contributes to that. But he's talented enough that I think he will eventually find his niche. It's just a matter of whether or not he figures it out in time to be, relevant and productive for a Thunder team that is they're making progress every single year. And some guys are going to get left behind.
And for Dieng, I mean, I don't even think he's gotten to half a season worth of games yet, due to injury last year. So
you guys think he'll play in the G League a lot this year?
I wouldn't say a lot, but I wouldn't be surprised if he spent time there.
I mean, we've been doing these exercises, or at least I have, and been sending it to you guys, where you try to figure out minutes for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There's 240 minutes in a game that you can dole out however you want. And, Dieng, I've just been giving an automatic 15, 16 minutes because they're not going to just not develop him, even if they're trying to win. If Dieng's with the Thunder, he's going to get his shot just about every night. But the rotation becomes a lot more, what's the word? Not solidified, but it just makes things a little bit easier to get down to a solid 9-man rotation if Dieng is with the Blue for a month or something like that.
The Thunder are deep.
Yeah,
really they've got a lot of guys that, deserve NBA minutes or need to develop or both. It's fascinating trying to find minutes for everybody, really. It's a great problem to have, especially for a team that's entering year 4 of a rebuild. I just kind of mentioned, I think stars will be SGA, Dort, Giddey, J-Dub, and Chet. But then you look at the bench, you got Micic, you've got Kason, you've got Isaiah Joe, you've got Kenrich Williams. You feel like those 4 are definitely solidified as top priority bench guys. But then you got Poku, Ousmane Dieng, J. Will. Seems like he would be high in the pecking order. You got Aaron Wiggins. Where is he getting minutes?
Wiggins is crazy because he was the 7th or 8th guy by the end of last year.
Right.
He was one of the 8 guys that you trusted. And I mean, make an 11-man rotation, and Wiggins might not be on it. It's insane.
I'm a Wiggins guy too. That's what hurts because it does seem like he seems like one of the more easily replaceable guys. or just guys that it'll be easy to push down the order. But yeah, he had such a great year last year. Such a great year.
Well, and Bertans, I know that was a bad contract, but he's still a 6'10" dude who can shoot 40% from three.
He's going to play.
He's going to play. There will be nights where he plays. There might be a lot of nights where he plays. He'll play less than 75% of nights, so that his contract isn't guaranteed the following year. But he will get minutes. I mean, he's a proven NBA player. If for some reason the Thunder keep Patty Mills, does he get minutes? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to be kept, and I don't think he'll get minutes, but maybe. Who knows? It's wild trying to come up with, rotation minutes for everybody.
They have 19 guys right now?
Yeah.
That's a lot of the roster crunch is like a roster, like you need the Baylor from The Office to come take care of this roster crunch. It's legit. There's so many guys they have to like make quick decisions. Well, not quick decisions, but they had to make decisions before the season starts on several guys now.
I think a lot of decisions have already been made, right? I mean, I think they have a pretty good idea of what they want to do. Because last year they had. Go ahead, Brandon.
No, you go ahead. It's good.
Well, I was going to say last year they were in a similar situation, and they made that trade with Houston, right? Where like they got Teo Maledon and it was Derek Favors and I think JaMychal Green, and they had all these guys that they kind of acquired or were second round picks that they thought, the Thunder have a roster crunch, and then they kind of they got off of them for the most part pretty easily with that trade. So I think we'll see something like that again this year.
I was just going to say another funny wrinkle of it is trying to figure out where guys are going to play. Like, what's their position when they do play? Like, what is Poku? Like, is he a 3, 4, or 5? Is Bertans, he's 6'10"? Does he play some center minutes, or is he always a 4? Usman Jang, is he a 4? Is he a 3? Do you play in some small ball 5? Kenrich Williams can play 2 through. Kenrich plays 2 through 4. Micic and Wallace are both naturally point guards, but Wallace could play all the way down to 3 if you're playing Micic, Joe, and Wallace together. I think the thing with the Thunder, and we've seen with Daignault, and I like this a lot actually. With Donovan and Brooks, we saw a lot of all bench lineups. The starters play with the starters, bench play with the bench, and obviously there was some staggering. But with Daignault, for the most part, you never see an all bench lineup. I really like that because that makes your lineups more diversified and puts more lethal lineups, I think, out there at all times. So, I think when we do the rotations, we look at the backups as a 1 through 5, but I think that's all fluid as well. And, you could have those guys playing all over the place, and some of those guys will be playing with the starters a lot of the times too.
And Kenrich, I mean, some of his best minutes last year were at the 5. So I mean, it's another option. But again, I think a lot of that was out of necessity, but it definitely unlocked something.
Yeah, this is kind of what the Thunder want to do. They want to play positionless. They want everybody to be able to handle, play, make, shoot, dribble, pass, all those things. It's kind of coming all together. And there's still a few pieces away. They want to do other things. I know everybody wants another big, and I think the Thunder will get another big down the road. That'll add another wrinkle. But I think that Sam Presti's kind of what he's been building towards, you're going to see more of that this season, adding Chet, Wallace, and Micic. Everybody's going to handle the ball, it seems like, at all times, and everybody's going to be able to play, make, and assist. It's going to be some fun basketball, I think, to watch.
It does seem like the ones that can't do all those things will be like few and far between, and there'll be people like Bertans who will just benefit from what else is happening on the floor instead of have to make a ton of decisions. I'm excited, and we've definitely strayed away from the game tonight, but like you can see a lot of you can see a lot of what they're trying to do, even with these guys. A lot of them, I mean, a few of them are rotation guys, a couple of them are starters, but you can definitely see the intent, and it's fun to watch. Like even this version of the Thunder, like still play the same way. Like it's not a detour from what they're after. Like everything top to bottom organizationally is preaching the same stuff, which is fun. I thought it was cool to see new blood on the coaching staff. Like I love how they rotate these guys that lead this summer league team. I think it's great. Did you guys see Kason and Keontae on the in the courtside seats, like right of the bench, like closer to
I didn't notice
that.
You'll see him in the Trey Man dunk video. They Keontae's literally 2 feet on the court after the dunk. It's great. But yeah, they were there like sitting courtside closer to mid court during the game. It was good to see them. And I would think we probably won't see Kason until Vegas, right, guys? Like the trip has to be finalized, and that's probably not going to happen until like the 6th, I would think.
Thursday is when it'll happen.
Okay.
And that's also, by the way, that's also when the trade with Denver with the 2029 first round pick will be finalized. And so we should get the protections that day.
Yep.
Thank goodness. My prediction is protected 1 through 5 because that's what the other Denver pick was.
Sign me up. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big green check mark next to that, Brandon. Love that.
Yeah.
All right. I told you we'd do about 30 minutes. That's kind of where we're at, more or less. Oklahoma City is back on the court on Wednesday at 7 Eastern. That's 6 Central and 5 p.m. where they're playing. I think I have that right. They play the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies won tonight.
Is Kenny Lofton playing?
Yeah, he played tonight. He played tonight, so we may get a little rematch. Kenny Lofton, Burley boy. That dude's a big guy.
Chet's not going to play both of those games, I would think. So
you think he plays one of the next?
Yeah, I don't think he'll play the back-to-back. I don't think J-Dub will either.
I also didn't think he'd play this many. I didn't think he'd play this many minutes tonight. And there's a couple times I was like, "Oh, his night's done." He came back in.
Yeah, he had to come save the game in crunch time. Him and Trey.
I wouldn't mind seeing him sit against Memphis and play on Thursday against Philly. Sounds great. Was that the last time we see J-Dub? Do you think he'll play in Vegas too?
Maybe one game.
I don't think he plays Vegas. Maybe. His original comment on Summer League was he wanted to play a couple times to see if he could still play in his new haircut. So I think he proved he could do that tonight. So maybe we see him one more time. I don't know. He's too good to be out there. It's fun to see him out there, though. It's just fun to see him play. But man, he is definitely lapped the competition when it comes to Summer League.
Yeah, it would be fun if they were going to play like Portland and he could play against Scoot or something. But you know, as it is, he only played 21 minutes tonight. He didn't score in the second half. They kind of shut him down after halftime. So, yeah, I bet he plays one or two more, but he's proved his point, I think.
All right, Memphis on Wednesday. We'll try and get back on here after that one and discuss. Guys, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Have a good night, guys.